Now we have C major hands together again, but this time 2 octaves. So this goes back to the thing that we learned in the hands separately of those 3 numbers, 3, 4, 3. We're going to kind of do this as a story rather than trying to remember who's doing 3 and 4 and when. It all gets a bit confusing. So we're going to start this the same way that we started the others. Right hand thumb on middle C and left hand little finger an octave below. Now the way we're going to remember this is to think about 3s as being the sensible change, and we're going to have something called a crazy 4, which is the silly change, the one that's a bit out of the blue that nobody's expecting. So as we walk upwards, right hand's the leader and he does his 3 change, and right and left hand copies. Now this time, instead of putting your little finger down, we're going to have thumbs together on this next C. And that thumbs together means we're not finished and we want another octave coming up. So let's try that just to the middle, thumbs together in the middle as we call it. Right change, left change, thumbs together. You want to practice that a few times because that thumbs together thing in the middle is a bit of a new one for us. So we're going to keep trying up to this thumbs together. Now when you get there, this is where the crazy 4 happens. So at the moment, right hand's been in charge so far and left hand wants a moment of glory. So he's going to run this crazy 4 over the top to take the next note. Now right hand, who's not really that happy about left hand taking all of his glory, he's going to go, excuse me, left hand, let's be sensible about things. 3 changes please. And he does his 3 change straight away. And they keep walking. So then left hand thinks, well, fine, whatever, I'll do it. I'll copy. 3 change. And that takes you all the way up to this 2 octaves. So the story we have going is that right hand is the one doing all the kind of the sensible decisions. And left hand is copying him for the most part, but has that one mad moment somewhere in the middle. So here we go, go from the beginning. So right does the sensible 3, left hand copies, thumbs together. Here comes that crazy 4 over the top, and right hand straight away puts him in his place. 3 change, and left hand copies. So that storyline is the ascending. We're actually going to use the same storyline coming down, but as you know, the other way around. So practice by pausing this video, pause this, go straight up a couple of times over at least until you start to think of that story. And the story is the thing that's going to help you learn this together rather than trying to think of each hand's 3, 4, 3. It's really hard when you're trying to do it that way because most of us will try and pick one hand and follow it. So we're going to try and think of this story as the thing that glues them together, and then we'll do coming down in the same fashion. So coming down, we've gone all the way to the top. This time the roles are reversed. So we have left hand making all the sensible decisions, and we're still aiming for that thumbs together in the middle. That's a really good point to get to. So we come down, and left hand does his sensible 3 change, and right hand copies. And we have the thumbs together in the middle. Now, right hand has his own mad moment, crazy 4. And left hand straight away says, no, be sensible, what you doing? And then right hand copies him. Let's try that from the top. Sensible left. Sensible right. Thumbs together. Crazy 4. And then straight away, sensible. Well done. So again, same thing we always do. Pause the video, practice just the coming down, and tell yourself that story as you go. Talking to yourself out loud, no one's judging, it's absolutely fine. Most of the time it really helps. So tell yourself that story as you go. And one little tip is that when people do this story, the one they tend to forget is they all get very excited about the crazy 4, and they forget that straight away the other hand goes back to sensible 3. So if you're going to remember any of those bits of the story, remember that second sensible 3 that hand does, because actually that's the thing that will get you back home. Without it, you could have run out of fingers and not get all the way back. So after crazy 4, the other hand does sensible 3 straight away, and that will get you all the way back home. So pause the video and just practice the coming down. Lastly then, we have all the way through. So we're going from the bottom. Remember that top note only plays once, and right hand is sensible on the way up first. Thumbs together, crazy 4, and here's the 3. Left hand sensible, right hand copies, thumbs together, crazy 4, and sensible left. Good job, well done. That is a lot of learning, it's a lot of stories and it's a lot of fingers, but most of the time if you can remember a storyline as opposed to trying to think about all the fingers that you have to do, it does make this process a lot easier, and the muscle memory will be there for you, hopefully that little bit quicker as well. You're aiming to get this a little bit faster, but this obviously when you're trying to learn a story and all the fingers, it's quite hard to think about speed at this point. So keep it as slow as you need, focus on the fingers and keeping it marching along very steadily, so all the fingers take their turn, they don't let someone else take a little bit longer. They should all take just the same amount of time, and eventually you'll be able to get the speed up, not too fast but just enough so that it sounds a little bit more flowing than that one did. But honestly, really good, well done.